Tennis serves up a new season.
And football remains undefeated.
All this and more coming up on the Penguin Rundown. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Penguin Rundown. I'm Dom Joseph alongside Christina Sandovich. Christina, you said it. Undefeated is the football team.
Yes, they are, and I know that they have a bye week coming up and then another home game, so I know that's huge for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is a perfect time for this bye week because conference plays next. You got Robert Morris, but then you've got the conference. So this is going to be a big test for this team. Well-deserved break, 3-0, but you've got more on the football team, so why don't you go ahead and get started.
All right. The football team continued their hot start to the season, beating Duquesne 34-14 on Saturday. The Gwyn's offense put up 377 total yards. Joe Alessi led the running attack with 75 yards on 11 carries, while Miles Joyner was the leading receiver with 3 receptions for 88 yards. Quarterback Nate Mays finished the game 8 of 11 with 131 yards passing and 63 yards rushing. Backup quarterbacks Joe Craycraft and freshman Mark Wade saw the field as well. Craycraft threw one pass for 31 yards and a touchdown, while Wade picked up his first collegiate touchdowns on a pair of rushing scores. The defense proved strong, forcing 3 turnovers. Bryce Gibson and DJ Smalls both came up with interceptions, while Kyle Hedges forced a fumble, which was recovered by Zaire Jones. I had the chance to catch up with Miles and DJ to get their thoughts on the game.
Turnovers have been a big thing for the defense this year. What's different from last year to this season?
Maybe the coaching. I would say the players. We all on one accord. We are more experienced players as well. You know, we played a lot of football together. That's made an impact on the defense, and we got a lot of veteran players.
All right, 3 games into the season, you're undefeated. How does the team feel?
We feel good, but we're not satisfied. You know, Coach Bo just said that at the practice. You know, we're not. You know, we're there, but we're not good enough. We're not nearly where we can be. So we just got to keep getting better. We look at it as trying to be 1-0 instead of just trying to be 4-0. You know, 1-0, win the week, win the day. You know, win everything you do.
So you guys used 3 quarterbacks on Saturday. Is that something you guys are going to work on going forward, or is it just one-day luck?
I think it depends on the game plan, and I think it depends on what the coaches want to do going forward throughout the whole season.
And have you guys set any goals for the rest of the season?
The 2 main goals we have is win the conference championship and win the national championship.
Right, and what's the team's mindset like headed into this bigger part of your season?
We're going into conference, so our biggest goal is to go undefeated, and that will help us reach our 2 main goals that we have set out for the rest of the season.
Thanks again to Miles and DJ for talking with me. Now, the Penguins will have a bye week to prepare for Robert Morris on September 28th, where YSU will look to defeat the Colonials and extend their record to 4-0.
The men's tennis team began their season this weekend at the River Forest Collegiate Invitational. Standing out, sophomore Eric Grahn claimed the number 4 title of the day in singles play. By dominating in all 3 matches over the weekend, Grahn was able to earn this spot early in the season. Our very own Dom Stevenson was able to catch up with Grahn and hear about this week's performance.
How does it feel to have a season start with a huge win?
It feels really, really good, but I'm not really focusing just on my win, focusing on the team performance overall. And I mean, we did a good weekend, and we've been starting the semester pretty good, and I think we can. After this, we can just improve.
And what mindset do you have going into this weekend's matches?
I'm going in with a huge confidence for sure. After ending up winning my group last weekend, but I mean, for sure you don't know always who you're going to play against and stuff. But I mean, we're going in with a huge confidence for sure.
Vasilis Vardakis also performed well enough to earn himself a place in finals play. 2 YSU freshmen made a great first impression this weekend. Laurentiu Montecescu was able to make it to finals play in his first collegiate invitational. Freshman Will Everett was also able to defeat an opponent from St. Louis. Be sure to wish the men good luck as they head to Toledo on October 20th to continue their fall schedule.
Women's tennis begins their season this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Martha Thorne Mountaineer Invitational. Key players to look at going into the season are senior Aman Hasim, who was second-team All-Horizon League and earned her third letter, junior Tamara Tufel, who picked up a big victory over Ohio State last season, earning her second letter in the process, and senior Cassandra Moralea, who saw action in 3 singles and earned her third letter. Others returning are juniors Claudia Barboza, Lucia Zagar, and sophomore Elvira Esteo. Head coach Michael Sopel will be entering his 7th season with the team and is looking to bring them back to the tournament. For more information on the women's tennis team, be sure to check out YSUsports.com.
The women's golf team had a successful weekend as they traveled to Lewisburg, Pennsylvania to compete in the Bucknell Invitational on Sunday. The team was able to finish in the top 10 by receiving second place overall in the tournament. Sophomore Pathita Conrudi had an outstanding performance as she matched her career best 54-hole score with a score of 221, finishing 4th overall. Junior Tori Utrip was another golfer who achieved her career best this tournament, as well scoring a 232 to tie for 25th place. In the juniors' final round, she scored a career low of 73 that included 13 pars and a birdie on a par 3. You can catch the Gwins in action again this weekend as they travel to State College, Pennsylvania to participate in the Penn State Nittany Lion Invitational. Also, the women's golf team participated in the Folds of Honor Military Tribute Program, which recognizes members of the U.S. Armed Forces who have been killed or disabled while on active duty. Utrip and sophomore Jenna Vivo will be carrying golf bags dedicated to U.S. Army First Lieutenant Ashley White Stumpf, who passed away in Afghanistan while on duty. For more on the women's golf team, we're going to send it over to the Roundtable, where Richie Giuliano and Kelsey Norris have more for us.
Welcome into the Roundtable. I'm Kelsey Norris alongside Richie Giuliano, and today we'll be talking about the women's golf team. Richie, the women's golf team has had an exceptional start to their season at the Roseanne Schwartz competition, as well as Bucknell, and I think you're going to get us started with some Roseanne Schwartz.
Yeah, they won the Roseanne Schwartz Invitational, their second in a row doing so. They had a team 583, which was good enough to win by a difference of 36 strokes. Cleveland State was right behind them at 36, but they were nowhere near first place. Puthita Kwanrudi and Victoria Grand shot a 144. Both of them shot a 144. Kwanrudi shot a 71 in her second round with 13 pars and 3 birdies. And then Grand shot a 72 even both days. She had 10 pars and 4 birdies in round 2, so they both played really well in round 2. As well as the freshman, Christina Lewis placed 3rd in her collegiate debut, and Danae Rugala plays 4th in her collegiate debut as well. And I know we played it well at the Bucknell Invitational, and I know you got more on that for us.
Yes, YSU performed incredibly well at Bucknell. They were in the top 10 once again. They placed 2nd overall. Puthita Conrudi, a name that we all know by now, she was in 4th, and the freshman, Danae Rugalo, she was in 7th, tied with someone else. And then Christina Lewis was in 9th, and it was very, very important for them. They had a very outstanding time there, and they'll be coming up at Penn State, the Nittany Lion Invitational, which we're all looking forward to. It'll be a bit of a challenge, but we'll definitely be checking up on social media, and be sure to check in next week for the Penguin Rundown, our look at the women's golf team. And for more on that, Dom and Christina will go back to you.
Thanks, Kelsey. The men's basketball team released their Horizon League schedule for the 2019-2020 season. League play for the Penguins begins on the road at IUPUI on December 28th, at UIC on December 30th, and then at Cleveland State on January 20th. The men's first home league games begin on January 9th and 11th with Oakland and Detroit Mercy respectively. The Gwins will take on each Horizon League team once at home and once on the road. Check out YSUsports.com for the full 2019-2020 men's basketball schedule.
The volleyball team traveled to Maryland this past weekend and competed at the Towson Invitational. Unfortunately, they lost all of their matches against Towson, Albany, and Coastal Carolina, and now have a record of 4-6. Senior Aaliyah Hughes led the Gwins with 17 kills in Friday's matches, and sophomore Alexia Burns led the team with 12 kills along with 36 assists and 9 digs, just barely missing a triple-double in Saturday's match. Burns also helped improve the team's hitting percentage from an 88 to 250. Senior Aaron Kalahar contributed to 5 of the team's 8 aces served against Coastal Carolina. The team will host the YSU Red and White Invitational this Friday against Robert Morris on ESPN3 and this Saturday against Eastern Illinois and Central Michigan. Be sure to come out to Beagley Center and support our Gwins.
The Penguins soccer team had another 2-game weekend, taking on 2 well-respected opponents. On Friday, the Penguins hosted the Eastern Michigan Eagles at Farmers National Bank Field. After 90 minutes of play, followed by 2 overtimes, the game ended in a 0-0 draw. Junior goalkeeper Kate McEachran had a strong showing, posting 14 saves on the night. Sunday, Youngstown State took on the Duquesne Dukes on the road. This match was all Duquesne, as YSU would take a rough 6-0 defeat. This weekend, the Gwins will have their first Horizon League match of the season as they face the Oakland Golden Grizzlies in Oakland. The team will then return home to face the Kent State Golden Flashes on Sunday. The match starts at 1 p.m. Pete the Penguin will be in attendance, so be sure to stop by and take a picture with the school mascot.
Well, last Ron Jaworski, YSU alum and former NFL player, was in town, and I got the chance to catch up with him. Here's a sneak preview of my interview with Jaworski. Hello, everybody. I'm Dom Joseph for the Penguin Rundown, and joining me is YSU alum Ron Jaworski. Ron, good to have you back on campus.
Dom, it's absolutely awesome. I'm really excited about being back in Youngstown. I have not been to a game since 1972, and I played in that game. So I've been back here numerous times for different events, but the first time I'm back to watch a Penguin football game. Very excited about that.
Yeah, glad to have you back for sure. Now, you graduated in 1972, you said. You grew up in Lackawanna, New York. Mm-hmm. Why did you choose YSU for football?
Dyke Beatty and the Penguin program at the time. I was a highly recruited athlete coming out of Lackawanna High School just outside of Buffalo. 38 teams had recruited me to come and play college football. We made a visit here, drove down from Lackawanna, New York with my dad. And Dyke Beatty recruited my dad, literally. And you know, after spending an entire day here in Youngstown, we're driving back home, and my dad goes, you know, I like that Coach Beatty. I think you ought to go to Youngstown State. And so Dyke Beatty did a great job of recruiting my dad, not me. So
right.
All worked out really well.
Now, what was something about Dyke Beatty? I mean, did he help you change your game in any way, change your approach to the game?
Well, it was a different style offense. At that time, it was called the side saddle T. Right now, it's a variation we see in the NFL and college football, these spread offenses. They're all very similar to the side saddle T, except now the quarterback's a little bit deeper back in the pocket. But what really got me thinking I wanted to go to Youngstown is I was probably the same height I am now, about 6'2½", but I weighed about 160 pounds. And I'm being recruited by Syracuse and Pitt and Penn State and Georgia Tech and Georgia, Florida, Boston College, Boston. I'm visiting all these campuses, and I'm going, look at these guys, man. I'm going to get killed. I'm not. My body is not mature enough yet. Now, eventually, I'll get bigger and stronger, but I wasn't ready. And I felt Youngstown would afford me the opportunity to play. And I tell a lot of young guys now in high school, before they make their college decision, I work a lot of camps and talk to a lot of really good young players. I say, don't go to Ohio State because it's Ohio State. Or don't go to Penn State because it's Penn State. Go where you can grow and play. And I felt Youngstown would afford me the opportunity to get bigger, to get stronger, and play. Because you don't get any better if you're not on the field.
Right.
So I don't want to be the third stringer at Penn State where I could be the starter at Youngstown State. And then grow and mature as a player as time went on. So it worked out very well.
I want to thank Ron Jaworski again for talking to me, and you can check out the full interview coming up soon right here on our webpage here on YouTube. And now it's time for Penguin Play of the Week. We're going to send it over to Abigail Cloutier, who has more. Abigail, take it away.
Thanks, guys. This week's Penguin Play of the Week was DJ Small's interception. Let's take it to Sandbar Stadium and take a look. Duquesne in the shotgun. Quarterback takes a snap, looking, and is tipped up by linebacker Ray Anderson and intercepted by DJ Smalls. This was one of two interceptions for the Penguins and contributed to a 34-14 win over Duquesne. Great job to DJ Smalls, great awareness. Dom and Christina, back to you.
Thanks, Abigail. That'll just about do it for us here at the Penguin Rundown. For news, highlights, and more, be sure to check out YSUsports.com and follow us on social media on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter at Penguin Rundown 1. I'm Christina Stainovich.
I'm Dom Joseph.
See you next Thursday, Penguin Nation.